Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. Given the large number of bodies that she piled up, it seems like just about every time I pick up my camera, I'm addressing another woman who never should have trusted Dr. Lucy Hagenow. And that's the case again today. On January 23rd of 1891, saloon keeper Joseph Hoffman summoned Dr. Dietrich to Schaefer's Hotel in Chicago to tend to an ailing woman, 23-year-old Minnie Deering. Dietrich prescribed an oral medication and an alcohol and carbolic acid solution that was to be applied externally. The following day, Hoffman summoned Dr. Dietrich and reported that he'd mixed the medications up and accidentally given Minnie the carbolic acid orally by mistake. Dietrich and another doctor pumped Minnie's stomach and administered countermeasures, but to no avail. She died on January 25th. Now, even though this meant implicating himself in a serious crime, he could actually wind up being charged with murder for this. He told the doctors that he and Minnie had secretly married and had secretly come to the city specifically to procure the services of an abortion doctor that he referred to as Mrs. Hagenow. Mrs. Hagenow was actually Dr. Lucy Hagenow. The coroner's jury concluded that ultimately Minnie had died because of the abortion because it had set the series of events in action. But they did not conclusively determine that Hagenow herself had actually perpetrated the abortion. They ordered her held to a grand jury pending further investigation, and Hagenow was arrested. Now, Hagenow was a prolific abortionist who had fled prosecution after the deaths of abortion patients in San Francisco. And she evidently found a very welcoming home in Chicago. Her attorney, John C. King, requested a writ to get Hagenow released. Judge Tuthill readily granted it, saying the verdict was an admission and exhibition of ignorance, and that Mrs. Hagenow should not have spent an hour in jail. Now, let's remember again that Hagenow had already been implicated in the abortion deaths of Louise Dirchow, Annie Doris, Abia Richards, and Emma Depp in San Francisco before she relocated to Chicago. Minnie Deering is the first dead Chicago woman I know about, but she was connected to the deaths of Sophia Kuhn, Emily Anderson, Hannah Carlson, Marie Hecht, Mae Putnam, Lola Madison, Annie Horvitich, Nina Pierce, Elizabeth Welter, Bridget Masterson, Lottie Lowry, Jean Cohen, and Mary Moorhead, in addition to Minnie Deering. This woman piled up corpses like cordwood and got away with it. So, the lesson that I take away from this is, first of all, that like other pro-lifers, I was totally wrong when I thought that being a quack would get you arrested when abortion was illegal. It really, like modern days, just depends on the will of the people who have the job of enforcement. And evidently, very few people bothered to prosecute Hagenow when she moved from San Francisco to Chicago. Very, very congenial place for a deadly abortionist to set up shop.